Viewer discretion advised.
It was yet another glorious day on the Southeastern Railway, and the engines were hard at work. Jimbo was the one most excited. He was to meet a brand new engine at the big station. When he arrived, he found the skinny controller waiting for him. "Ah, Jimbo, glad to see you here right on time."
Thank you very much, sir. Is that the new engine?
Indeed she is. Jimbo, I would like you to meet Elmira. The new engine looked splendid. She had 6 driving wheels, a red funnel, and a dazzling coat of bright red paint, just like Jimbo. Now, I have purchased her to help with all of the shunting that we've been needing lately.
Greetings, Elmira.
Well, hello to you, Jimbo.
Now, Elmira, your first job is to help Presley with shunting coaches for the other engines. Can you do that?
Yes, sir. Right away.
Well, flatten my funnel. For a young engine, she sure seems more determined than people give her credit for. And she's wearing the same color as me.
Jimbo was so excited that he had to let off steam. But he made sure that a shower of water didn't splash on the skinny controller's top hat.
Sorry.
Throughout the rest of the day, Presley showed Elmira the ropes with all of the coaches. Case in point, Alexis and Clarissa, Gorford's Express coaches, even a few branch line coaches. And with Elmira's help, all of the passenger trains ran like clockwork. And Elmira couldn't have felt more pleased. However, after a few days had passed, she was starting to grow fed up with her job. As a result, she started complaining to the other engines.
I can't believe I've spent my time shunting coaches for you guys to take on journeys. Why can't I pull my own train for once?
But only Dewey could say, "You're too impatient, Elmira. You're still a young engine. You might leave something behind or have an accident or something." Only Elmira could let out steam loudly. That night at the sheds, things weren't much better for Elmira. Night after night she kept the other engines awake.
I'm tired of pushing coaches. I want to see the world.
The other engines didn't take much notice, for Elmira was just a red engine with a long tongue. But one night, Jimbo came to the shed. Even though he wasn't a very kind engine, he felt sorry for Elmira.
Hello, Elmira? What are you doing in the sheds all alone?
Oh, hi, Jimbo. Well, apparently all of the other engines went to look for some quiet places to sleep because they couldn't take my constant bickering.
I see your point. I get that most of the time. Well, I heard you were doing so well with the coaches for the past few weeks, and the skinny controller says that you're a guaranteed connection. How come you'd be unhappy about it?
Well, that's all I've been doing ever since I came to this part of the coast. I don't get to take my own trains or go out on long journeys. Nothing.
Jimbo thought for a bit until he had an idea.
Actually, I've got some freight trucks to take home tomorrow. If you take them instead of me, I'll shunt your coaches in the yard.
Wait, really? You would do that for me?
Of course. That's what friends are for.
Aw, thank you, Jimbo. I knew I can count on you.
So next morning, Jimbo and Elmira asked their drivers, and when they said yes, Elmira went off to find freight trucks. Now, freight trucks are silly and noisy. They dilly-dally a lot and don't attend to what they are doing. And I'm sorry to say they play tricks on an engine who isn't used to them. Other engines, such as Alfred, knew all about freight trucks. At one point, he warned Elmira to be careful, but Elmira was too excited to listen. The shunter fastened the coupling, and when the signal dropped, Elmira was ready, tender first. The guard blew his whistle, peep peep, answered Elmira, and started off. But the freight trucks weren't ready. Oh, they squealed. Wait, Elmira, wait! But Elmira wouldn't wait.
Come along, you lot. No nonsense.
Elmira was chuffing through the countryside with Jimbo's trucks. She was enjoying herself enormously, but the trucks were growing crosser and crosser. Now this is all peaches and cream, she thought to herself. Now I know how it feels to be really useful. But I'm afraid she didn't. The trucks began their plan to get back at her. At last, Elmira slowed down as she came to Gorford's Hill. Finally, the freight truck's chance had come. They began to put on their brakes and started giggling as loud as ever they could.
Hold back!
Hold back! Hold back! Soon Elmira found her wheels starting to slip due to the freight truck's excessive weight in front. Elmira tried with all her might, but it was no use. The weight of the heavy trucks gave way.
Oh, snap.
Elmira's driver was attempting to put on the brakes, but it was no use against the surging trucks. No one had ever seen a tender engine like Elmira go this fast.
Why, bust my boiler! What was that?
Poor Elmira drew closer and closer to the next station at the main line. However, neither her nor her crew could have realized that the points were switched to another siding, in which Humphrey was interacting with Kyler. Kyler is a new crane that had just arrived on the railway. They were both chattering like old friends when suddenly they heard another engine's whistle. Then there was trouble. Through the station, Elmira thundered, disaster lay ahead. There was a loud crash, and Humphrey was just in time to reverse. Ah! Luckily, no one was hurt, but poor Kyler was fuming. I wasn't purchased on the spot just so another engine can come crashing into me.
Yeah, you're not wrong, you know. This wasn't a very safe spot to put you, Kyla. You know, right on the track, where you can easily get knocked over, likely over the edge, and then never seen again.
But Kylo wasn't the only one who was cross. The station master was furious. Now I shall have to report this to the skinny controller.
Wait, what? No! Anything but him! If you do so, he's going to kill me!
I'm sorry, Elmira, but you left me with no choice. The skinny controller was having breakfast. He was eating toast and marmalade. Soon the butler came in.
Excuse me, sir. You're wanted on the telephone.
Oh, bother that telephone, thought the skinny controller. I'm sorry, he said to his daughter. Elmira's in trouble at the docks, and I must go at once. Later that day, the skinny controller arrived on board Jimbo. What on earth is going on here? Well, for your information, sir, I was having a conversation with Humphrey when all of a sudden, right out of the gate, another engine starts coming in and crashing into me.
Well, I will give you credit. That wasn't a very safe place to... Elmira?
Elmira did this? Only Elmira could blush and smile sheepishly. But the skinny controller wasn't buying it. What are you doing here, Elmira? I thought I told you to stay in the yard and start shunting coaches.
Well, I just wanted to shunt trucks, sir. I thought it would be a nice change once in a while.
The skinny controller was not happy. Look, Elmira, you're still a young engine. You can't just go off willy-nilly like that. I thought you were doing so well with shunting coaches. And I was originally going to reward you with your own to take passenger excursions with. Unfortunately, I don't think you deserve them. Now Elmira was very sad. And Jimbo felt that the guilt balloon had exploded in his boiler. So naturally, he decided to tell the truth.
Please, sir, it's my fault.
Wait a minute. Jimbo? What have you got to do with this?
I was the one who convinced Elmira to carry my freight trucks.
Now, why in the world would you do something like that without my permission? Jimbo took a deep breath and decided to pluck up courage.
Because Elmira has been doing nothing but shunting ever since her debut. You basically wouldn't let her take her trains, and she was growing tired of it.
The skinny controller was most surprised. Well, that was thoughtful of you, Jimbo, but here's the reason why. Much like any other engine, I want them to start small and then work their way up. How do you think I got you to start pulling trucks instead of the wild Southeastern?
Let's not go there, sir,
said Jimbo furiously. He didn't like to be reminded of his own incident. Sorry. Well, bottom line, I'm afraid you'll have to be punished, Elmira. You will continue shunting coaches for the other engines in the yards until I can trust you again.
Aw, this is just great. This is all your fault, you dirty freight trucks! Why can't you ever behave yourselves?
Later that day, Jimbo was in such a bad way. He knew he wanted to help Elmira, but it only made things worse for her. As he was chuffing through the countryside, he began pondering to himself about what might happen to Elmira. Will she be stuck shunting coaches for the other engines for the rest of her life? Or perhaps she'll be sent to another railway in England. Or even worse, she'll have no choice but to be scrapped. Or even such...
Okay, we get it! I'm clearly losing my mind, and you narrating my inner turmoil isn't exactly helpful.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just doing me job.
I know. It's just, I'm barely hanging on here, Richard. I just need to find another way to cheer up Elmira. But I don't know how.
Next day, Elmira was grumbling dreadfully. She was growing quite rough with the coaches as she brought them to the platform.
Don't talk! Come along!
The other engines were very worried.
What's going on with Elmira, guys? Elmira has been taking her shunting duties a little too seriously now, and Alexis and Clarissa have been complaining. If this keeps up, we'll be out of the job completely. The passengers are starting to swarm around like angry bees. I don't know how to break the news to you, Tombo, but I don't think the skinny controller is going to like it.
Presley was right. The skinny controller was receiving a ton of flack due to Elmira's behavior with the coaches.
Yes, I know. I apologize for that. Just give me some time.
The skinny controller was most exhausted. Soon, he agreed that something must be done. But what, actually? The next day, Elmira, the red Stirling engine, chuffed sadly to Alfred's station.
Morning, Elmira. I hear tell that you don't want to shunt coaches anymore. Is that correct?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I know you'll do us proud, and so with the skinny controller. You'll see. Why don't you come along and help me with these freight trucks?
With Alfred's help, Elmira was soon learning her way to handle freight trucks. However, only after a few hours, Humphrey arrived with bad news.
Elmira! Elmira! Thank goodness! It's Crazy Terry! He's broken down on Gorford's line! You've got to come now!
Really? I'm on my way!
Oi! Who's going to help Alfred with his freight trucks?
Actually, I'm free, Mr. Ringo, sir. I'll help Alfred.
Very well then, on with the story. Humphrey was right about Crazy Terry. He was stuck halfway up Gorford's Hill and was very worried.
Boy, I hope somebody comes and rescues me soon, or I'll end up like Jimbo on a good day. I heard that.
Nobody asked you.
At last, Elmira came to Crazy Terry's rescue.
Crazy Terry! Are you okay?
Oh, Elmira, I'm sure glad you're here. Hey, can you do me a favor and give me a push right to that junction before Gorford arrives with the Wild Southeastern?
Hey, Jimbo, can't you help me with this? I mean, surely you're a much stronger engine than I am.
I'm sorry, Elmira. I have passengers to take downtown, and the signal's gonna make me late. Don't worry about it. You can do it.
Elmira was determined to rescue Crazy Terry. Unfortunately, the silly freight trucks started teasing again. They were also giggling loudly, and Elmira just couldn't take the pressure.
Hey, look, everybody. It's the station pilot from earlier.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up!
Come on, Elmira. Don't listen to those wooden punks. Just push me over to that junction before I get turned into wooden splinters! Worst yet, the skinny controller will make you do shunting forever!
Elmira knew that both engines were right. If she wasn't doing anything, both she and Crazy Terry would be doomed for life. So she buffered up and pushed and puffed as hard as ever she could. The signal dropped and Jimbo was ready to go.
Keep pushing, Elmira. I believe in you.
Gorford was coming up fast with the wild southeastern. Elmira pushed and pushed and pushed, and with one huge effort... Oh! Get out of my way! She sent Crazy Terry to the junction just in time.
Thank you, Elmira. You saved my life.
Elmira was pooped, but smiled in triumph.
I did it!
Thanks to her new strength, Elmira sent Crazy Terry to be mended. Later that day, Elmira was parked in an empty siding resting her wheels when Jimbo showed up.
Hello, Elmira. Well done with the rescue. I must say you were quite confident to go through all that.
Not to mention that I conquered my fear of all of those freight trucks teasing me. How can it get any better than this?
Then, who should arrive but to Elmira's surprise, the skinny controller. Oh no, what will he say, she thought to herself. But the skinny controller was smiling. Well done, Elmira. I was in Gorford's train and I saw everything. You have made the most troublesome truck on the line behave. You are a really useful engine. Also, due to your confidence at rescuing Crazy Terry, I think I have a surprise for you. Tombo?
Here I come, sir.
Elmira couldn't believe her eyes. There, coupled up to Tombo, were her very own coaches. Yes, sirree. Thanks to your act of courage, I think you deserve them, Elmira.
Actually, I shouldn't be thanking you, sir. I should thank Jimbo.
Huh? Why me?
Because you never stopped believing in me. Ever since my debut on this railway, you always stood up for me. To which I say, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm off to prepare my very first Rio journey. See you later, Jimbo.
Bye.
After a few days had passed, Elmira couldn't help but be much happier working on the Southeastern Railway. Nowadays, she helps take vacationers around the coast with her lovely new coaches, some of which might even stand on the platform and wait to see Elmira go by, with Elmira shouting, "Peep, peep! Thank you very much." I am sorry to say that some children were often late for school because they wait to see Elmira go by with her coaches. On a side note too, Kylo was relocated to a safer part of the coast by the harbor, and he never forgets to say hello as Elmira passes by. Hello, Elmira!
Hello, Kyler.
Elmira wasn't alone, though. Sometimes Gorford or Jimbo would arrive to give her the good word.
Hello, Elmira. The skinny controller says well done, and your passenger runs for the past few weeks.
Oh, very well. Tell him I said thank you, okay, honey bunny?
No problem.
Thanks. Well, I'll see you later tonight. Goodbye.
So long.
Jimbo and Elmira are now good friends. Elmira never talks about shunting coaches, and they are both quite agreed about the subject of trucks.